Gina McPhee, would you like to offer public comment this morning?
Yes, please.
Go ahead, you have 60 seconds.
I saw that the planters were going in on Fountain Ave, and I thought, oh, how nice, neighborhood beautification. But these aren't beautiful. They're giant wooden shipping crates bundled in plastic straps. But then I thought, well, I'm sure they'll be nice once they're planted. Then I saw them being filled, not with arable soil, but instead with substrate and aggregate. Well, nothing's going to grow in that. But then I realized how much those planters impact parking on that street. They're huge, they block the passenger side doors. But what really got me aggravated and got me talking out about it is that I saw a woman in a wheelchair trying to navigate the sidewalk there, and it was impossible. She had to go into the grass and she got stuck. Our sidewalks need to be accessible to all. These are ugly and they just have weeds and plastic plants stuck in them. They need to go. We need to give our sidewalks back to the people. I yield my time.
Nora, would you like to offer public commentary this morning?
Sorry. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. You have 60 seconds.
Thank you. I would just like to make a public commentary, not only on L. Ron Hubbard Way and that entire block, but the construction that has been happening inside those buildings for years, being done with unlicensed labor in hazardous conditions, no PPE provided, OSHA violations, etc. People removing, like myself, asbestos with no protective gear whatsoever, and also demolishing, the old building, the one that's shaped like a V that used to be a hospital, and, demolishing the terracotta brick in there that is filled with disease since 1900, and then just dumping it, wherever they took a truck away to throw all that stuff away and replacing it with track and stud. I don't believe any of that was fully permitted with the city. There are many rooms that have been created in all of those buildings that are not permitted, that are made with their indentured servitude labor.
Nisa, I see your hand raised. Would you like to offer public comment this morning? And I'm not receiving audio input. Please speak loudly and clearly into your device. And I'm not receiving any audio input from you this morning, Nisa. Vice President Chavez, I do see one additional hand raised during the last commentary period. Would you like, if you like, I can ask if the attendee would like to offer public comment?
Yes, please.
Very well. Miriam, good morning.
Good morning, TJ. I just want to talk about an additional audit I did on L. Ron Hubbard Way regarding the baby caskets. It seems like even more have been removed now. So I don't know if that means that the increased forced abortions in the slave labor inside Church of Scientology has increased, or they have been removing them based on your request. However, there's still quite a few left, so I hope you will remove them as soon as possible. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Miriam. Nisa, are you able to reestablish that connection where we can hear you in the board's hearing room? And I don't see your microphone moving. Perhaps you would want to try another device at a later time or in another board meeting. Thank you. And that concludes public commentary this morning, Vice President Chavez.
Okay, is that the end of general public comment? Okay, general public comment is now closed. Next, we will move on to multiple agenda item comment. This is an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item to do so during this multiple agenda item comment period for up to 1 minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting.
Yes, very well. Thank you, Vice President Chavez. We have Audit LA, who has requested to offer multiple agenda item commentary this morning. Go ahead.
Good morning. Yes, I want to talk first of all about your bids. I was never concerned about bids in the city who they're hiring until I became involved with Scientology. And you heard from Nora this morning, who I wish you guys would hire to help guide you in the bidding process. Also, yesterday at the police commission, Jenna Miscavige spoke also very eloquently about slave labor, because I never realized until I learned from them that there is slave labor in America in 2025, and I'm concerned that these bids, every last one of them, because we don't, like that, they are not going to be, what they call a Scientology whale company. They're Scientologists, but they're going to have their own people doing the work. So the company's going to make all the money, okay, and but the labor is going to be slave labor, and I'm very concerned about that because it's going on in our city. And I've seen it. I mean, you see, they're building furniture inside there too in the RPF. They have a prison system in there too. I don't know if you're aware of that. So I am concerned about that too. That any of these bids that or they have their own prison system and people are being forced to do labor. And it sounds ridiculous, right? Because like when I would be listening, I'd be like, this sounds absolutely insane, but it's not insane. It's actually happening. And so you guys need to be aware that even not just Scientology, there's other companies too. They are starting to look into this and it's starting to prosecute other companies that are taking advantage of other populations. And so you have one head company, they're making all the money, but the people who are doing the actual work are not making the money. And when it comes to bids working on the street, okay, like you guys gave a permit to Scientology to work on the street, okay, and they have to pay full price, but they're not. And you guys need to get involved with this. You have to look deeper. Okay. Now, when it comes to water reclamation, I'm going to say, I'm glad that you guys are doing that. I feel that this board is hopefully making up for the lack of what you should have been doing for years. And I don't mean you personally. I mean you as, the city, because we had the worst fire ever. And it basically boiled down to not having enough water. And not enough preparation for water. Okay, and it's sad that the fire chief has to get fired, because the mayor has to blame somebody, right? So let's blame the fire chief, makes sense, right? Fire chief. But at the end of the day, really, there wasn't enough water. And water falls on public works. I am not blaming anyone on this current board. You guys are all new. This is not your problem. And
That's 3 minutes. Thank you. Vice President Chavez, I do see an additional hand raised during that commentary period. If you like, I can ask the user if they would like to offer multiple agenda item commentary.
Yes, that's fine.
Very well. Yvonne, good morning. Would you like to offer multiple agenda item commentary this morning?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Thank you. You'll have 60 seconds per item. Please indicate which item you are speaking about when you start your commentary. Go ahead.
Number 2, my eyes are killing me right now. The project for the Hollywood, the project for Hollywood reclamation or hold the bids for that. I'm sorry. That's going to be a huge effort that, again, I think I've commented on this before, that capital improvement needs to be put on hold until some of the costs are assured for the recovery from the fire. Number 5, emergency cooling. Yes, of course, that's important, but I think we also need to look at making sure that water is available on request at every restaurant or food preparation facility. If I have an empty canteen or my empty water bottle and I need to refill, water is life. And in the middle of the heat wave, it should be absolutely accessible, regardless of who you are. Perhaps there could be a Good Samaritan clause added to the conditions for holding a business permit that says, if somebody appears thirsty, give them water. The bids and the number 7 in particular, I support. But any of the bids, I'm concerned about the timing because, again, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul to hopefully give the money to Tom and expecting it back and forth. All of the bids and all the contracts you are passing that have backing by a federal government grant to the state, and the state's going to pay you. The timing of that is highly likely to be frustrated by the current national government. Please be wary of making a payment promise to a contractor that you can't keep. For nonsense reasons, it's not your intention, but that's the reality. And the reality is that during the contract, you require 100% bond, and from the contractors,
And that's
you
3 minutes.
yourselves can't really offer.
Vice President Chavez, an additional hand has been raised on the virtual platform. If you like, I can ask the attendee if they would like to offer multiple agenda item commentary this morning.
Yes.
User Carla, would you like to offer multiple agenda item commentary this morning?
Yes, please.
Okay, you'll have 60 seconds per item, up to a total of 3 minutes. Please indicate which item you are speaking on, and go ahead.
Yes, I like to comment on item number, I think it's 4. It's regarding the grant agreement for the water resources. I want to congratulate you for putting this in place. It is extremely important to take care of the water resources and the recycling. And I want to congratulate you also for it's a tiny gesture, but it's not so tiny. I see that lately you've been having these Stanley Cups there on your desks. All of you, I don't know if it's an initiative of the city or if you're having them as somebody, a company giving them away, but it's a great example of how important it is to drink water all the time. I was, and related to this, I wanted to ask you, how is the situation with the fine towards the buildings in the Scientology buildings, who we have documented that have wasted an extremely amount, gallons and gallons and gallons of water during the summer. We have proof of that, and please remember to pay attention to that, because they might be doing it again and again and again, the same way they're doing the things with the planters to keep protesters away. They're going to do it with the water.
Speaker,
and this
please
is
stay on
serious
topic.
business. We are already seeing. Yes. Sorry? Hello? Yes. So the other thing I wanted to say, I want to support all the callers before, and Nora in particular. She didn't have time to explain it, I think, enough, but she was working as a
This is
slave for the
multiple
Church of
agenda
Scientology.
item comment section. Please stick to an
Yes.
agenda item with respect to your
I
comments.
am, yes, I am talking about the need of water and to the importance of, if you're going to give a bid for an enormous amount of money to recycle water and to make sure that the city is well provisioned with water, please also pay attention to all the people and all the organizations who are wasting it. One in particular being the building of the Church of Scientology, and that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for listening.
Vice President Chavez, that concludes multiple agenda item commentary this morning.
Multiple item public comment is now closed. Next item we have is the approval of the minutes. Is there a second to my motion to approve the minutes of February 14th?
Second.
We have a second by Pro Tem Grant and Commissioner Mitchell for approval of the minutes.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of minutes, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kane.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, this item is approved unanimous.
Okay, moving on to we have several bids on the agenda today. Item number 1 is North Outfall Sewer Rehabilitation Unit 11, Humboldt Street to Cardinal Street.
Thank you, Vice President Chavez. And this morning, I am joined by Matthew Castellanos of the Board Secretariat, and we will go ahead and start with the bid opening on item number 1. Thank you. And the first bid for item 1 is from Spinarello Infrastructure West Incorporated. The total bid amount is $21,791,211. $21,791,211 from Spinarello. The second bid this morning is for item 1 is from JR Pipeline Company Incorporated. JR Pipeline Company Incorporated's total bid amount is $27,996,050. $27,996,050. Thank you. And that concludes the bid opening for item number 1.
Thank you. Those bids, the motion is received, open, and declared forthwith.
And is there a second to Vice President Chavez's motion?
Second.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item number 1, starting with you, Vice President Chavez,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Kang,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. And item number 1, bids are received, open, and declared forthwith unanimously.
Okay, item number 2 is a bid for the Hollywood Sanitation Yard.
Thank you, Vice President Chavez. And once again, I'm joined by Matthew Castellanos, of the Board Secretariat. The first bid for item 2 is from Murillo Construction Incorporated. Murillo Construction Incorporated's total bid amount is $19,016,000. $19,016,000. The second bid for item 2 is from Keystone Builders Incorporated. Keystone Builders Incorporated's total bid amount is $17,997,800. $17,997,800. The third bid opening for item 2 is from PCN3 Incorporated. PCN3 Incorporated's total bid amount is $16,404,000. $16,404,000. And the last bid opening for item number 2 is, I apologize, there's one more after this. The next bid opening for item number 2 is RJ Daum Construction Company. RJ Daum, DAUM Construction Company's total bid amount is $20,542,500. $20,542,500. And the last bid opening for item 2 is from Green Building Corporation. Green Building Corporation's total bid amount is $20,346,785. $20,346,785. And that concludes bid opening for item number 2.
Thank you. Is there a motion to find those bids received, open, and declared?
I'll move.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you, Vice President Chavez. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 2, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item number 2 is received, open and declared, and we'll move forward forthwith.
Okay, item number 3 is bids for the secondary sewer renewal program.
Thank you, Vice President Chavez. Once again, I'm joined by Matthew Castellanos from the Board Secretariat. And our first bid is from Ramona Incorporated. Ramona Incorporated's total bid amount is $3,526,072. 3,526,072. The second bid for item 3 is from MNR Construction Incorporated. MNR Construction Incorporated's total bid amount is $4,203,572. 4,203,572. The third bid opening for item 3 is from Gerbcon Incorporated, GRBCON Incorporated. And their total bid amount is $4,210,766. 4,210,766. And the last bid opening for item 3 is from CEM Construction Corporation. CEM Construction Corporation's total bid amount is $4,872,421. 4,872,421. And that concludes bid opening for item 3.
Thank you. Colleagues, is there a motion to find those bids received open and declared?
I'll move.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We will go ahead and take a roll call vote on item number 3, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner King.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes. Item 3 is received, open, and declared forthwith.
Thank you. Moving on to item 4. We have Bureau of Sanitation Grant Agreement, California State Water Resources Control Board Water Recycling Funding Program. Good morning. Can you identify yourself for the record,
Hello.
please?
Hi, good morning. My name is Tian Fan. I'm an environmental engineering associate with LA Sanitation from the Centralized Grants Unit. And I'm here to report on a grant application from the State Water Resources Control Board Water Recycling Funding Program for the DCT Advanced Water Purification Facility project. So we had applied to this grant back in 2018. And back then we actually had requested the Board of Public Works and the City Council to approve a very similar authorizing resolution as the one I am presenting in order to identify the Director and General Manager of the Bureau of Sanitation as an authorized representative for this grant application and agreement. And ever since, we have been working with the State Board to accept this grant agreement, but it wasn't until June of 2024 that we have been officially awarded $3 million. And in December, they had requested that we renew this, we provide an updated authorizing resolution. And so with this resolution, we will be able to accept this grant finally. The project will be a very critical step towards recycling water to help the city achieve its goal of recycling 100% of its wastewater by 2035. And the construction has started in December 2024 with an estimated construction cost of around $529 million. It is funded mostly by our partner, LA Department of Water and Power, and also a $223 million loan from the EPA. and there's no impact to the general fund for this item. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, do we have any public comment on this item?
We do have a hand raised. We have two hands raised. One is from Audit LA, who has already offered multiple agenda item commentary. So I'm going to lower her hand. And I'm going to see if Tamara would like to offer commentary on item number 4 this morning. Tamara?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Would you like to offer commentary on item number 4 this morning?
Okay, and this is on the sanitation?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, the reason why the sanitation department hasn't been going on the streets to clear it because the LAPD is getting almost most of the income that the city is making. That's why the sanitation department hasn't been doing anything. I'll yield back the rest of my time.
And that concludes commentary on item 4, Vice President Chavez.
Thank you. Colleagues, any questions on item 4? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
I'll move.
Okay, we have a first by Commissioner King, a second by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 4, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. And item number 4 is adopted, referred to Mayor and Council forthwith.
Great, thank you. Moving on to item number 5. We have an item regarding the Public Works Trust Fund Loan, Extreme Heat, and Community Resilience Program.
Item number 5 has been requested to be withdrawn at the request of the office.
Okay. So noted. We're going to moving on to item 6.
We don't need if there's no, we don't need a motion on that, if there's no objection to the withdrawal.
Item number 6 is a joint report, Bureau of Sanitation, Bureau of Contract Administration, a personal service contract for e-recycling of California.
Good morning. My name is Yasi Lozano with LA San Solid Resource Citywide Recycling Division. I'm here to present on our recommendation to the board to award the citywide electronic waste recycling contract to e-recycling of California. This revenue-generating contract is administered by the Residential Special Materials Program, which facilitates collection activities of e-waste and household hazardous waste from residents of the city and county of Los Angeles through 7 safe collection centers, mobile collection events, and a residential curbside bulky item collection program. Non-salvageable electronic devices from city departments are also recycled through this contract. This contract will provide collection, transportation, and recycling services for the city's e-waste recycling program. E-waste refers to electronic products that are no longer functional or have reached the end of their useful life. In 2024, the city collected and recycled about 3.3 million pounds of electronics. The City of LA is registered as an approved collector with the Department of Resources, Recycling, and Recovery's Covered Electronic Waste Program. This department is also known as CalRecycle. Per the E-Waste Recycling Act of 2003, an approved collector's utmost responsibility is to collect covered electronic devices, which are video display devices, covered by the law, containing a screen greater than 4 inches measured diagonally. These are identified as hazardous waste by the Department of Toxic Substances Control. And they include cathode ray tubes and liquid crystal display TVs, monitors, laptops, and tablets, cell phones, as well as plasma and OLED displays. E-waste recyclers in California can register as an approved recycler to participate in this program. A major intent of the Act tasks CalRecycle with administering a payment system for collectors and recyclers to cover the average net costs of recovering and recycling covered electronic waste. A request for proposals was posted on July 14th, 2023 on the Regional Alliance Marketplace for Procurement, or RAMP. The RFP solicitation was limited to approved recyclers only. LA San received 3 proposals by September 28th, 2023. Electronic Recyclers International, E-Recycling of California, and Computer E-Waste Services. By January 23, 2024, the evaluation team received confirmation from the Centralized Contracts Unit that the 3 proposals had met the Business Inclusion Program requirements. Financial strength, operations, and revenue sharing were key considerations for selecting a company. The main objectives were to select a company that will maximize revenue, has the highest financial and operational stability, and exceeds compliance requirements, particularly with data security. All proposers were asked to submit their downstream processors' information. All 3 of the proposers' recycling facilities were visited by the evaluation team. Following a thorough evaluation and selection process, E-Recycling of California, or ERC, is recommended as a contractor for processing the city's collected e-waste. ERC acquired a new facility in Santa Fe Springs, which became fully operational by July 2024. They were formerly located in Paramount, California. This new facility expanded from 32,000 to 96,000 square feet with upgraded sizing and shredding equipment that doubled processing capacity. Located in the greater LA area, the Santa Fe Springs facility offers shorter response times and reduced transportation-related greenhouse gas emissions. ERC proposed the most competitive rates to the city while exceeding all qualification criteria and demonstrating the capacity to efficiently process the city's materials. ERC has complete ownership of their facility as well as their fleet and have broad experience in this industry. The contract term will be for 5 years with 2 3-year renewals for a total of 11 years and is expected to generate some revenue for the Residential Special Materials Program. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for that. Mr. Knight, is there any public comment on this item?
There are no hands raised on the Zoom platform, Vice President Chavez.
Colleagues, any questions?
I have
Commissioner King?
So thank you for your presentation. I know we had a prior briefing on it, but a question that arose is related to laptops or cell phones that have sensitive information. So when they're recycled or dropped off, how does that data ensure that it's not breached or used for a different purpose?
Sure, great question. So before you arrive to a facility to drop off, we encourage residents to actually wipe as much data as they can before they drop off. This information is available on our webpage. When they do drop off the material, we actually have separate bins that these data containing devices go to, and they are locked. When the contractor arrives to pick up the material to be transported to the recycling facility, as it goes to the facility, it then gets shredded into very small pieces. That is our standard. We require proposers or facilities rather to have that capability. So, we want to ensure the residents that we have that requirement through when we are selecting the proposer. So, yes, all of the material that gets dropped off and collected at a facility or a mobile event gets shredded to its commodity pieces, to small pieces.
So, there are older devices that are no longer, operating. So residents can feel confident that their devices won't be tampered with.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Do we have a motion?
Second.
Great, we have a motion by Commissioner Mitchell and seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 6, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes. Item 6 is adopted, referred to Mayor and Council forthwith.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item 7, an authority for expenditure by the Bureau of Sanitation and Office of Accounting requesting board approval and execution in the amount of $187,000 for continued on-call computer technical support services as described in the project task order A3-16-01 under contract C127362 from July 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2024, pending the execution of a supplemental agreement to the contract. Do we have a representative on this item, or?
There is a representative identified.
If there's any questions.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. Nicholas Tran with LA San. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Speak
Morning.
loudly. It's
Okay. Good morning, Commissioners. Nicholas Tran with LA Sanitation, Information and Controls Systems Division. We're requesting the approval for the authority of expenditure of $187,000 for DCSE, who was providing PC support contractors for our department. The contract expired, and we were trying to amend it, but they were continuing to provide services for us. But we have asked them to stop services since August 31st. So we're trying to provide payment to them for the services they provided from July till the end of August. We are currently working on a supplemental contract to continue the PC support services that we'll probably bring before you in the next couple of months. That contract will be for 2 years, and then we'll also be working on a new RFP for PC support for our department. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Do we have any public comment on this item?
We do not, Vice President Chavez.
Questions, colleagues? Okay, seeing none, do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Great, we have a first by Commissioner Mitchell, second by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 7, starting with you, Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is approved and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we are going to adjourn the regular meeting and move on to the special meeting.